Hello everybody, I'm Thomas, and welcome back to the 5th video of my solo Fallout 2d20 RPG playthrough series, where I'll be continuing the adventures of Marbash, picking up from last session. We'll be starting in Sanctuary. So last session we just got done taking down a few robots, a couple Protectrons. I took down 2 myself. We had a couple other, the Minutemen kind of split up in a group of 3 and in a group of 2. They took down 2 of the other Protectrons. And it seems like, for the time being, Sanctuary is pretty clear of at least robots, and we'll see if there's more that needs to be done of clearing out creatures-wise, which I imagine there's some left that we need to work on fortifying the place. And then once we have a headquarters set up, we can start getting the Minutemen re-established. Speaking of the Minutemen, I figured I'd quickly talk about them because they've been kind of talked about this whole campaign, but I haven't really talked about who they are if you don't really know. It's kind of what it sounds like from the name, but the Minutemen is essentially this idea of a militia type group that just helps out local settlements that need help. So yeah, they might be based somewhere, and then yeah, if a settlement is being attacked by raiders, they could call the Minutemen, and then they'd be there to come help out. So that's kind of the idea of the Minutemen. So I guess I just figured I'd real quick touch on that because I don't think I ever actually went to an explanation of who the Minutemen are and why I'm trying to help them out, because it seems like the Wasteland could really use a group like that. So, and it seems to kind of align with Marbash's ideal of wanting to help people out. So yeah, that's why I think he's really for helping out the Minutemen and doing all this crazy stuff in Sanctuary. Okay, so to do a couple of things from kind of last session, one thing was Preston, the leader of the Minutemen, was who told me about these Protectron robots that needed taken out. So this was kind of like a quest. My question is, I did give myself already XP for completing it because I added it to my threads list. But would Preston also give me any caps? Because I mean, it was a quest, you know, and most people, when they give you a task or something in the Wasteland, most of the time pay, and when they pay, they give caps. So I definitely I'd probably ask for it up front, but if he offered caps, like, I would take them. So would he have offered any caps after kind of completing, taking down these Protectrons? I don't really know. I'm gonna just go with likely and just see what Mythic says. But I don't know if I'll really get any caps. No, okay, no caps for me. That's fine. I just wanted to double check that. The other thing from last session is I did take down 2 Protectrons by myself, not to brag or anything. It was a little close at times, but we got there. And then I was able to salvage them for common material and uncommon material, which was great. There's 2 more robots laying around, so I'm gonna real quick go and scavenge them to get some parts and whatnot off of their robot bodies. So I will go up to the first robot. I need to do a science plus intelligence roll. I don't think I'll use any action points on this one. I will just roll kind of as is, I think, and see what I get. So let's see. That doesn't look good, but that looks good. So 2 successes. I do generate an action point. I was able to salvage it, and then I get to roll 2. So let's see from this robot how many materials I get. That looks pretty good. So I get 4 common materials and 2 uncommon materials, which will definitely be nice for crafting and whatnot. All right, 1 robot down, 1 more to go. I'm gonna go over to the other robot and try to salvage any parts I can from them. Let's see if I am successful or not. That looks good. So that's another action point generated, which I'm just gonna go ahead and immediately spend to get some extra material from this robot. So I'll be rolling 3 dice. It's not as good. I will only be getting 2 common material. Okay, so now that I got robots figured out, I didn't get my caps from Preston, but that's all right. We're chilling in Sanctuary. So I think at this point, I'm going up to Preston and talking with them a bit and saying, you know, robots are taken care of. We're good there. I want to help get the Minutemen reestablished. So I kind of ask him, like, what does that entail? And that's something maybe I could roll for Mythic for, but I mean, I think it just makes most sense that I kind of talked about this maybe a little bit last episode, that one of the main things I think the Minutemen need right now is just a home base, a headquarters, a place they can call home. And because they've been traveling around a lot, I think their group started out a lot bigger, and then they've just been running into different troubles along the way, trying to find a place to settle down. So it's like their group is just dwindling more and more as they're just trying to find a place. So it's like first step is to find a place that they could be safe, and then that maybe people know where to find them at and how to contact them and whatnot. So that's why they came to Sanctuary. So I think one of the first main things that needs done to help reestablish the Minutemen is help fortify Sanctuary and make it a safe place. So what makes the most sense in my mind to start out is that Preston probably talks about that there's two main points of entry into Sanctuary as is. So I think the first thing that he's going to task me to do is to help create some sort of barrier, some sort of fortification gate type situation that probably would block off the back exit completely, and then mostly block off the front entrance, but then obviously leave some sort of like gate or door or some way that, you know, people could actually come and go. But, you know, so ghouls and stuff don't just wander on in, because I think that's the main thing is like, we have this place mostly cleared out. Like I said, I don't think like the robots were the main threat. So now we can kind of wander around a bit more and get a better idea of the area. I imagine there's still going to be a couple critters flying around, some probably rad roaches, some bloat flies, a mole rat or two, maybe in a couple houses. So yeah, I think that's going to be the first thing that Preston is going to task us with to help getting Sanctuary refortified, is to help, yeah, kind of fortify the entrances and get that taken care of. So I will go ahead and add that as a new thread to my threads list. All right, so we got a new thread to fortify and secure the entrances to Sanctuary. I'm gonna say this is probably just a minor quest to do this because it shouldn't take all too long. It's just gonna be a process of finding a way to kind of block off the back gate and then partially block off the front gate while also finding some sort of gate or door so like people can kind of come and go. But like I said, that there's still some sort of kind of wall there. So that's going to be the new thread. Do I need to, I probably want to create a new scene, I think, for all of this, because let me see, what was my last scene? Was it just working with the Minutemen to clear the Protectrons? At this point, that is done. It's probably a little bit later in the day as I was kind of salvaging the robots and talking with Preston, kind of coming up with a plan of like, you know what, telling him about like, I want to help the Minutemen. What can I do? So he's like, well, the main thing we need is to reestablish a headquarters. So that's what we're going to do. And I will create a new scene for that. All right. So we got a new scene, scene 11, fortify and secure Sanctuary entrances. Of course, with creating a new scene, we have to adjust the chaos factor. Last scene involved fighting those Protectrons. It was rough. How am I looking character, like health-wise? I think I'm looking okay. Yeah, 8 out of 15. I took some hits. Was I in control? I think for the most part I was, but I feel like just the fact that I'm so uncertain, I should maybe just raise the chaos rank just to make it more interesting, maybe. I don't know. Because the fight was, I mean, I did win, but I took a lot of hits and it was pretty close. I think I had to like heal at one point. Did I miss? Did I miss like some of my gun jammed at one point? So I don't know. I think an argument could probably be made either way, but just to make it maybe a bit more fun, we'll go ahead and say chaos factor is going up. It's getting a little bit more crazy up in here. And we're on our way with a new scene. So blocking off this back exit, this back, I guess, bridge. I'm trying to think of the best way to do that. So what would I have at my disposal? The one thing that comes in my mind right now is, so this Sanctuary was like a suburban area with lots of homes. I think there's like 14 or so homes total. So I imagine there's hopefully a decent amount of cars around, maybe, because I think that's kind of the top idea in my head of trying to make a pretty secure and quick way to make like a barrier, is to, even if the cars don't work, like I can get some of the Minutemen to help me push some cars in front of the back gate and kind of just closing it off. Because I mean, there's always the option of like, we could just destroy it and then we only have one entrance to worry about, which maybe isn't a bad idea. Because do we really need a back entrance? Like, as long as we have one, there's just more stuff to worry about, another fortification to make, more stuff to upkeep. Could just get rid of it, and that would kind of solve the problem. I don't know how hard it would be to destroy, like how sturdy this bridge is. I mean, currently I don't have a lot of like explosives on me. I don't have any grenades or any. I got a baseball bat and a pipe gun. I don't think it's gonna get me very far for taking down a bridge. So I don't know. Let me go up to Preston as I'm starting to like look around, trying to get an idea of like, what do I even do? Like, how do I do this? I come up with the idea. I'm like, hey, Preston, let me get your thoughts on something for a second. I'm like, okay, now what if the back entrance, instead of fortifying it, how about it just didn't exist? What do you think about that? Good idea, bad idea? So I'll be like, is this something I should try to do? Just get rid of the back entrance. I don't know for sure. I kind of want to go with likely because it's not a bad idea. Like, I'm trying to think of any negatives, but if we're trying to make this as secure as possible, it's kind of surrounded by water, so there's already a pretty natural barrier. There's 2 spots of entrances. I think making it just one would help a lot, especially because it's not like we really need it. I mean, I think the main purpose of this back bridge was for the vault, so to allow quick access, I think. But besides that, there's nothing else really back here. So I mean, the main road is going out front, so I think let's ask him. I'm gonna go with at least likely. I almost want to go with very likely. We'll go with just likely. No, we'll go with very likely. I think there's a good chance because I'm trying to think here, like, what's a good reason not to? And I can't even think of one. I got nothing. I mean, like, maybe if you wanted quick access to Vault 111, but right now it's still locked up. Like, we don't have access to it. I don't know why we'd want access to it at the moment. And because we got bigger stuff to worry about. And yeah, we could still get to it. We would just have to go out the front entrance and kind of walk around either that way or that way. But like, yeah, it's not ideal. I guess it is kind of a long walk. You have to go like all the way around the water, or go this way around. So it's definitely not, I guess it does provide very quick access to Vault 111. But once again, like, we don't need it. We don't have access to the vault. It's locked up, sealed still. So what do you think, Preston? Should we blow up the bridge? Get rid of it, tear it down? He likes the idea. Awesome. I'm glad because I think it's a good idea. Like I said, there's really, besides the quick access to Vault 111, I don't see any other purpose for it. And even that is useless to us. Like, so glad he's on board. Okay. Do you, this is like a random question. Hey, do you have any grenades? That's my question to him. Like, do you or any of the Minutemen have grenades? I guess I'll phrase it like this. Do you have any explosives that I could use to help blow up this bridge? I'm gonna go 50-50. I don't know. Do you have grenades or explosives? No, you got nothing. Okay, I guess not. Okay. This kind of brings me back to like the car idea though, because I could just like put a car on the bridge, shoot at it, and then that would explode. But like, I don't think that's going to do enough damage to take out this bridge. Because I also don't know what kind of bridge it is, and that could matter a little bit. Like, if it's a steel bridge, that's going to take some like firepower to take down. Where if it's just like a small wooden footbridge, that's going to be like, I could take that out with probably my baseball bat at that point or something. See, I guess it really varies. I don't know how industrious, because I don't think like there's no road going here, and I think its actual only purpose is for Vault 111. So I imagine it looks like a small bridge. I imagine it's not like an industrial bridge that's made for like cars and whatnot. It could be like some sort of like just like a land bridge. I don't know. It's just like dirt and whatnot. Let me go over and take a look at it and ask Mythic, I guess, a few questions about it as I'm trying to get like an idea of like what condition the bridge is in, how it was made, what it's made of, stuff like that. So I guess the main question I want to ask Mythic is, do I need to get my hand on some explosives to take this bridge down, or would I be able to take it down with what I have? That's a good question. I'm trying to think of what I would even, like, odds-wise rank that at. would I need explosives to take this bridge down? I'm leaning towards like unlikely, because like I said, I think since this is like a back bridge kind of area, it's mainly just probably like a footbridge to get people to the vault. So there's not a lot of cars. It's not like super like well built. Not that it like, you know, it's probably meant all the OSHA like what am I even like the OSHA rules and whatnot, but yeah, I don't know. Let's see. So I'm getting a bit of a look at this bridge. Does this look like something I can take down without explosives? No, wait, I guess, can I take it down? What do I want to ask? Do I need explosives to take this bridge down? That's the question I want to ask. Do I need explosives to take this down? Or could I do it with like a baseball bat and a lot of time? So let's see what it says. If it's like a steel bridge or something. So yeah, I think I asked, I already forget what I asked. I think it was, do I need explosives to take the bridge down? Because I thought that was unlikely since I think it's a back bridge, and it came up with no, I don't need explosives to take the bridge down. Okay, getting myself confused, man. But I think I got a good idea. So I don't need explosives. It is some sort of back bridge type situation. Kind of maybe just like a wooden bridge or just some simple bridge, yeah. So yeah, what I think I'm gonna try to do then is take out each of the supports on the bridge, like the, you know, the poles underneath it that are holding the thing up. Like I said, I think if this is a simple bridge, we'll just go with that. It's some pretty basic like wooden footbridge type situation. So what I'll do is I'll roll, I don't know, we'll say 4 plus a d4. Is how many, we'll say like, yeah, 4 plus a d4. I'm curious, like how many different, 8, okay. So like how many different like pillars are kind of underneath that I would need to take out to take this thing out. So maybe it's a bit of a longer bridge. So there's like 2, 2, 2, and 2, 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, that's how it works. So kind of 4 on one half, kind of 4 on the other half. And that's kind of the situation. So I kind of need to go through and break each of these support beams to bring this bridge down. I think what I'll probably do is just, yeah, use my baseball bat and just start swinging at these support beams, trying to take them down. I think I just need to try to roll to hit, and they're probably, since this is a simple-ish bridge, I think it's probably only a 1 difficulty test. Because there's 8 of them. Yeah, I think that's probably a safe assumption. I mean, I'm pretty strong. This is a sharp baseball bat. I don't know, but it would take probably a bit of time. But there's 8 of them, so yeah, I think this is just a small footbridge. I mean, I don't think most footbridges you could probably break with a baseball bat. But listen, this is a sharp baseball bat, and I'm pretty good with it. So I gotta break 8 of these to kind of bring the thing down. So I think that sounds all right. I'll just go with it. So 1 difficulty per beam. Let's see how this goes. Hopefully this is okay. I guess I didn't need to roll that. Great. I didn't roll any. My luck should have reset when I got a quest. I'm trying to think of what, because what would even, what do I, I'm trying to think if I even need to roll for this, because like what's the downside if I don't? I just miss and I just do it again till I hit. Maybe there were still complications, so I guess I just swung and hit it, but it didn't break it. Maybe that's how we'll roll with it. Yeah, I like that. Just to that, like I hit it and it did do some damage, but it didn't break it yet. I gotta do this 8 times. Oh man, I might have to like just cut through some of this. Okay, first one's down. Just gonna try to fly through this. Maybe I'll generate some action points along the way. That'd be cool. Boom, there's an action point. Second one's down. I just, yeah, keep going. Maybe once I get 6 down, I'll ask Mythic if that's enough just to make the bridge like collapse. That's another extra action points. So that's what, the 3rd one? That's, yeah, that's the 3rd one down. Let's keep going as I just keep, I'm just going through this bridge, just smashing these these pillars below it. That was a fail, so I'm just gonna do it again. Keep trying as I'm just, I hit the beam, but it just didn't break. I hit it again and it doesn't break, so I'm gonna just spend an action point to really wail on this thing, I guess. There we go, that's a success. That's the 4th one down. Yeah, we'll do 2 more, and then I'll just ask Mythic if it's... I could ask at this point and maybe just make it different odds, but there's another action point. Let's do 1 more, and then I'll see if the bridge has kind of collapsed. Because I don't think if there's 8 of them, like, taking out enough should just bring the thing down. That's more action points. I'm just banking them at this point. So yeah, at this point, as long as I was counting, right? 6 of the 8 pillars are gone now under the bridge. Is that enough to kind of just make the bridge collapse? I think likely. Sure. There's 6 out of 8 is done. I just got to make the bridge at least unstable, if not fully collapsed. Nope, these last 2 pillars are crucial, so this is really going to make me do all 8, but that's okay. As long as I don't like hit my leg in the process or something, this is pretty straightforward. There's another success, and then 1 more pillar to go. So I just line up this last shot. There's some beams still hanging. I just smash it, and it just goes flying. The bridge just falls to the ground, and I get some action points out of that. As yeah, I do the final cool finishing move on this thing, and it works well. I mean, I rolled a nat 1, so that works good. And yeah, the bridge just kind of comes crumbling down, I guess, as I take out the last little pillar. And yeah, with that, the back entrance, I guess, it's secure because it doesn't exist anymore. So that's one way to fortify a bridge, is just to break it down. So okay, that's dealt with. That's great. How am I going to start fortifying the front entrance? I kind of like the idea of like the car thing, and maybe we can even use that as like a bit of a gate. Like we put a bunch of stuff up, and then like right in the middle we have like a car that we can kind of just like push out of the way or push back in front to kind of just make like a makeshift like gate door. It's just this, I don't know, just a car. So okay, so I need to go around looking for anything that I could put on the bridge to help just start blocking stuff off and make a bit of a barrier. Okay, so I was trying to think of the best way to do this, and it seems like a survival roll would work real well. I think I want to probably buy 2 extra d20 because my survival skill isn't the best. I'm probably gonna make this a difficulty 2 test because this is gonna take a bit of time and also like effort to find big bulky objects that I can then put on the bridge to kind of make 2 little side barriers, and then at some point I'm gonna try to push a car behind, so then we have that as kind of like a makeshift gate. So yeah, I'm gonna buy 2 extra d20s, which cost 3 action points, but I think it'll be worth it. I hope. This is a difficulty 2 test, so let's see how this goes. Hoping that's a nat 1 and a nat 20. So that is 2 successes, so I was able to do it, but there was a complication along the way. I think what maybe we could just say is I lose d4 health. Man, I don't want to make it d4 health. We'll just make it like 2. I was gonna say 1. 1 doesn't seem like a lot. 2. We'll say like oh no, not down to 2. I lost 2. Yeah, because I think maybe like in the process of me like moving big objects around, maybe scrape my arm, or just like I'm just getting tired of just like moving stuff around and all that. Maybe I like kind of trying to like grab something and it like falls on my foot. I don't know. It could be any number of combination of these things. But yeah, I was able to get some stuff, some just heavy objects, maybe just boards and boxes and I don't know, just random stuff that's bulky that I could put in the middle of this like wooden, maybe I don't know if it was a wooden bridge, but this bridge, our main bridge, to make a bit of a barrier. And yeah, got a little hurt in the process, and we'll say it took probably a good half hour of me like, even probably longer, you know, we'll say it was like an hour of just like me taking stuff, moving it around, moving this around, and probably the Minutemen were helping out. Like, I don't think they were just sitting around watching, but I think they're probably just trying to still figure out logistics. They've also had a lot of, it sounds like, not good times recently with dealing with the raiders in the museum and probably whatever else happened beforehand. Because like I said, I think they had a lot bigger of a group, probably even fairly recently, if they've just been slowly losing people. So it's probably nice to have a bit of a break, and I imagine they're tired. And yeah, I'm not going to blame them. I'm not going to force them to help me with all this stuff. But yeah, I imagine they see me like lugging heavy stuff around, and maybe there's some of it that's like too heavy or too bulky that we need a couple people to like push onto the bridge and whatnot. But yeah, after we'll say about an hour of time or so of just moving stuff around, that still doesn't seem like a lot of time. We'll go an hour and a half. That seems a little bit better. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. that we get the bridge all kind of situated, mostly. So we I was kind of envisioning, I think I'm trying to just put like bulky stuff on one side, bulky stuff on the other side, and leave the middle kind of open. And then on our side, we'll kind of push a car up and then block it off like horizontally and use that as kind of like a makeshift gate. So then if we want to leave, we could just push the car out of the way. If people want to get in, we can push the car out of the way. And then, yeah, we just kind of push it back when we're done. Obviously isn't the most ideal, but I think it would be a secure way just to have something. So yeah, so now that we got everything else in place, I need to try to find a car around that looks in decent condition that I can have maybe one of the Minutemen steer while I push and maybe some of the other crew helps push. So yeah, when we start looking around Sanctuary, am I able to find a decent car? I mean, I imagine there's cars in Sanctuary. Like, well, let me ask Mythic, like, am I able to find a decent condition car that I can kind of push? Like, that has, like, you know, not flat tires and, like, a working steering wheel, one that I can actually, like, semi get in front of, you know, where I want it to be. So am I able to find a car like that in Sanctuary? I'm going to go very likely, because I think this is a suburban area. There's probably at least a good number of cars. I think there's one that we could probably get pushed in front of there, but let's see. Maybe not, and we have to figure out a whole nother plan. Okay, now we're good. There was a car there. So now it's just going to be a process of getting it in front of the little bridge area to make a nice little gate. Okay, so yeah, I'll probably have, I don't know, maybe like Mama Murphy. I'll be like, hey, Mama Murphy, I'm going to have you steer this car. Me and Preston and, I forget the other one. The handyman, what's their name? Sturges, right? So Sturges, and then we have the couple, right? Of, yeah, Marcy and Jun. So, yeah, Marcy and Jun, me, Sturges, and Preston. That's 5 people pushing a car. I think that's definitely enough that with Mama Murphy kind of behind the wheel steering, we should be able to get it kind of pushed across Sanctuary and onto the bridge pretty easily, I think. Maybe I'll still make myself do some sort of test, either like maybe a strength test, I guess. Maybe we'll make it like an athletics. Yeah, so we'll just do an athletics roll, and we'll just make it difficulty 1 since there's 5 of us pushing. That as long as, you know, I'm doing my part and making sure I got like a good angle and I'm really giving it my all, that we get this car there fairly quickly. I don't know how this test is gonna go. Oh boy, didn't go good. Maybe I will spend a luck point to re-roll one of those. I gotta get below a 7, so that's not good. Let's see, can I get a below a 7? That's an 8. This is not good. I should have spent like an action point beforehand. I can spend one more luck point, which I guess I will. I mean, maybe I won't, because I guess it's just gonna take longer if I'm failing my athletics roll. I think we're still gonna be able to do it, especially because there's 5 of us, but it's gonna take longer, and yeah, I don't know. I think that's the only consequence I can really come up with that makes sense. It's just that maybe it takes like maybe an hour of like pushing it across, taking a break, pushing it, taking a break. I'm probably already pretty tired from lugging stuff around, from swinging the baseball bat, trying to take out the bridge. I fought the robots earlier. I've already had a pretty tiring day, and it's only noon so far. But after a bit of time, I'm really not putting in as much as work as I should be. We kind of all, as a group, get the car kind of situated in front of the gate and have a little makeshift kind of barrier and gate at our front bridge. And with that, Sanctuary's kind of secured already. I'm happy about that. We're getting stuff done. Gonna get these Minutemen up and running here soon. And this was I think the main steps. Like this was huge. So, well, first things first, this was a thread, so we could go ahead and get rid of that thread. As at this point, obviously, there is always going to be more we can do to Sanctuary to make it more secure, make like building turrets or making watch posts or getting more people. But like as a base kind of starting spot for the Minutemen, I think this is good enough. So it was the main thing, was just fortifying, securing the entrances. So we're good there. And yeah, that's complete. And I can take that off the thread list. And since that was a thread, I get some XP from that. Since I put that down as a minor quest, I'll get 60 XP. So 253 is what I have. So only like 40 or so XP away from leveling up, which is exciting. Okay. Is there more to be done for trying to help reestablish the Minutemen? They now have a base of operations. It's secured. We've fortified it. We've cleared out the main threats. So I'm gonna go up to Preston and be like, we're getting along. You know, it's just yesterday this place was overrun with robots, and now robots are gone. Back bridge is gone. Front bridge is secure. We're getting stuff done. So I guess my question is, what else do we need to do to help get the Minutemen reestablished? I think one of the things when we ask Mythic here is that there's still some creatures and stuff around Sanctuary. Maybe just in some houses, there's just some rad roaches or just like insects, nothing big or major like the robots were, but I think there's a chance that the houses are gonna need like gone through and cleared out. So let me ask, yeah, is that something he wants me to do? Or was that something they were already doing? Like maybe when I was lugging stuff around, they've already did this, but yeah, as I'm asking Preston about, bridges are good, back bridge is gone, front bridge is secure. What's next? Is there more that needs done? Do the houses need cleared out? Are there more creatures around? So, do the houses need cleared out? Are there more creatures around? No. Cool. Maybe they kind of already did that, or maybe like because they got here before me, so maybe they already took out a few like rad roaches and bugs, and they saw that there really isn't that much in Sanctuary. And like I said, maybe as I was working on the bridges earlier, that's kind of what they were doing. So cool. So I guess my question then, I'm like, is there more to do to help at least for my quest, is there more to do to help reestablish the Minutemen? I really don't think there is. I'm gonna go with unlikely. I'm thinking unlikely or very unlikely, because I think, like I've been kind of walking through my thought process. Like I think the Minutemen have a home base. It's safe. There's no more creatures inside. We fortified the outside. Is there anything else? Like obviously we're gonna want new members at some point. Probably getting some sort of radio system that we could actually contact other settlements would be ideal. But at least in my thread list of helping to reestablish the Minutemen, I mean, that was the name of the quest, was, helping them get reestablished. Is this considered reestablished? That's a good question. So when we ask Mythic, is there more to do? Okay, I guess before I ask that question, I just should probably think, if it comes back, yes, there's more to do, what could there possibly even be to do? Like maybe they'll say they want more members before being being reestablished, is like maybe they're going to get a couple more people before they're up and running again. It could be they need more supplies. It could be that they need the radio network set up that okay, we have a base, but we can't be really helping people until we have some way to talk to people and get messages in quicker than by just foot. So I guess those are a couple of options. Okay, let me ask. Those could be valid, but I'm still gonna go with unlikely. So is there more to do, or is the Minutemen kind of reestablished at this point? Kind of nervous for this role. Is there, is there more to do? And it came back yes. So there is more. I got excited for a second, but then I'm like, wait, I forgot the question I asked. And then, yeah, no. So there is more to do. So I think it's one of those situations that I said that either they need more people to kind of get up and running fully. I think they're going to need all of these things at some point. They're going to need more supplies. They're going to need more people. And what was the third one? Oh, going to need some sort of radio network to talk to people and whatnot and so on. So I imagine it's one of those three things, but probably not all of them. Probably just one, maybe two of them. We'll see. Maybe I'll repose the question after I do one and I'll bump down it. So I'll be like, okay, is that all we need? And I'll maybe make it very likely, very unlikely. But we ask, is it that you need more recruits? I don't know. They all seem pretty equally likely in my part that they need more supplies. Seems about right. That they need more people. Checks out because there's only 5-6 of us total. and that they need the radio network, which all seem like, in my mind, they seem about equal. Maybe the radio network is probably a bit more important, just so they have point of contact, but like you need supplies to do stuff, and then you need people to use the supplies. So is the question, or is the thing that needs done, he needs more people. We need more people in the Minutemen before we can really get reestablished. I think it's likely. I don't know. No. So it's not that it's people, so it's either radio tower needs set up or more supplies. Is it that the radio tower needs set up? I think it's, we'll go with very likely. No, we'll go with likely. Let me switch it back. Likely that it's the radio tower, because they probably don't have a lot of supplies anyway. Yes, it is. Okay, so talking with Preston, telling like, oh, we got this, and this done. Like, what else do we need to get done to get the Minutemen reestablished? And he's like, well, we're gonna need more people at some point. We're gonna need more supplies at some point. But the most pressing thing right now is some form of communication, because Wasteland's a big area, and especially the Commonwealth. It's a big area. So if people are in danger, we need to know as soon as possible. And the best way to do that is through some sort of radio tower. So he wants to get up some sort of, basic radio communication, some sort of like ham radio system, trying to get some sort of at least radio tower. And then obviously we would need a way to receive messages, and then ideally a way to send messages. So people could talk to us, and then we could give some sort of response. So I guess that's what needs done, is to find some sort of radio tower and radio equipment, bring it to Sanctuary, and then get it set up there. So that sounds like a new thread to me. Is get Sanctuary radio system set up. All right, we got a new thread, set up Sanctuary radio communication. I'm saying this is probably just a minor quest, shouldn't take a crazy amount of time. It's just going to involve finding the supplies and then transporting them back to Sanctuary and then setting them up. Maybe fixing up stuff if it's broken, but I think that's going to be kind of part of finding the supplies, is finding stuff that actually works. So, all right, we got a new quest. We'll say probably a little bit more time has passed. We've just been chatting, trying to figure out what plans are next. We'll say it's like a little bit before 12:30. And he's like, well, obviously this was the most crucial, was finding a home base and then making it secure. So now it's definitely a good starting spot. And it sounds like we're really close to having the Minutemen, at least in a functioning capacity, but yeah, we need some sort of radio network. So I don't even know where I would go to get some radio equipment. I mean, robotics disposal ground, there is a satellite station, Olivia. Maybe that's where I need to head. Could be a good spot. Well, before I go there, because I feel like, I mean, I've been helping Preston a lot and helping him get the Minutemen reestablished. So then I'm curious, at any point with me helping Preston, would he have, because I've been kind of just assuming like I'm kind of one of the Minutemen, but I haven't really, I don't think, been extended an offer yet. Maybe I have, I don't know. So would at some point throughout this whole day of me meeting Preston, taking down the robots, fortifying the bridges, asking to go get radio equipment, would he have offered for me to join the Minutemen? I think it's nearly certain, but let me double check. I don't want to just impose. Okay, yes, so he has made an offer to make me a Minuteman. So, and I obviously would accept. The main reason I'm trying to figure that out now is then I kind of want to start working on one of the homes in Sanctuary, making it a new headquarters for me, and having a nice little, maybe moving out of my shed, my little shack, and moving into one of the homes here in Sanctuary, because A, it's going to be bigger, it'll be nicer, and it's with the Minutemen. We'll have a little community going on, there'll be people around, it'll be great. So yeah, I'm not even going to ask, like, if I'm a Minuteman, I assume I think there's like 10 or 14-ish houses here in Sanctuary, so there's plenty, at least for everybody right now. If we need to, you know, have roommates and whatnot wait around down the road, if we have a lot more members, that's probably another road to cross once we get to that point. But until then, yeah, cool. So I'm now a Minuteman officially. Awesome. We'll have a party later. But right now there's work to be done, and that's that we need to gather some radio equipment from somewhere. So Preston knows that we need this equipment. Would he have any good suggestions on where to find it? Like, would he know about this satellite station, Olivia? I don't even know if there's radio equipment up there, but it's a satellite station. They have satellites. They probably have radio equipment in there somewhere. It's also right next to a robotics disposal ground, so there's probably good electronic equipment there. But once again, like, a lot of these places I probably wouldn't know about, so I would either need Preston to tell me about it, or maybe I'll go talk to Trudy and then see what she says, see if she knows places, because she knows the area pretty well. So I think if Preston doesn't know, Trudy probably would, because she's kind of just, yeah, she works in this area, she knows what's going on, hopefully. So yeah, would Preston have a recommendation on where to go to find radio equipment? We can get this communication network set up. I think it's likely. Probably not very likely, because maybe, I mean, Preston has been traveling, so I don't know how familiar he is with this area particularly. He's probably fairly new to this area, so I don't know how familiar he is with it. So I don't know. We'll go with likely. Does he have any suggestions? No. Fantastic. All right, maybe I should have made it very likely, but no, we're here now, so he doesn't know where to get any radio equipment. Okay. So I guess I probably have to go talk to Trudy then, because I don't think... I've been a wanderer for a while, so I would know this area decently well, but not crazy well. I guess I could just ask Mythic, like, would Marbash know about this satellite station, Olivia, up here? Or is it completely... And have I not really gone up here too much? I'm gonna go with very unlikely that Marbash would know about this, but maybe. I mean, I'm only leaving it, I'm leaving a chance there that he knows, but probably he doesn't. Well, let's see. Does Marbash know about that place? He does. Okay. So yeah, I asked Preston, I'm like, do you know anywhere we can get radio equipment? He's like, well, no, I'm pretty new to this area. I was like, well, I am too. I've heard there's some satellite station kind of nearby, so maybe that's worth a check, but I don't even know if there's good equipment there. I don't know what's going on. I just know that this exists. Maybe I've seen some of the satellites like off in the distance, so I know there's some station there. Maybe I don't know even exactly what it is, but I know there's something there. So I'm like, okay, there's something there. They have communication equipment. Maybe it's radio, maybe it's not. I'm gonna go check it out. So told that to Preston. I was like, if I don't come back, that's where I went. But I mean, hopefully I'll be back. Maybe they could send... Maybe I could have a companion with me to help get stuff, because I wouldn't mind. I have to like lug someone around, and if combat happens, like, it sounds nice having the idea of like a companion around, but then just having to track another character or whatever sounds like a lot of work. So I don't know. You know what I might do is I might grab a companion when I go to the satellite office, but maybe I'll say, yeah, I can go check out that satellite place, Preston, but I passed a Red Rocket truck stop on the way here, and I don't think that they normally have radio equipment, but it's also really close. So let me go check there first, see if there's anything. If not, I'll come back, maybe grab a person or two to come along, and then we'll go up to the satellite place and figure out if there's any radio equipment up there and kind of what that whole place's deal is. So I tell the person, I was like, okay, let me go check out Red Rocket Station first and whatnot. And he's like, all right. So I start weaving Sanctuary, and of course I'm gonna need some at least a person or two to come along so they can help move the car out of the way and then let me out, and then they move the car back, and then I start heading off to the Red Rocket Station. So fast forward time a little bit as I start weaving Sanctuary, and then let me yeah, make a new a new scene for starting to head to the Red Rocket Station and see what's going on there. All right, so we got a new scene. Scene 12 created. Head to and explore the Red Rocket Station. It's about 12:30 as I leave Sanctuary. And since I'm creating a new scene, I need to adjust the chaos factor. And was I in control of last scene? I think pretty much for the most part, yeah. We were just fortifying the bridges, which went pretty well. So I think I was in control, so we could say chaos factor goes down. And yeah, Marbash has... We've cleared out Sanctuary, cleared out the robots. There's no more creatures inside. Salvaged the robot parts to get some good stuff to make later. I've destroyed the back bridge, fortified the front bridge, and now we make our way to the Red Rocket truck stop to possibly find radio stuff that, I'm gonna be honest, I don't think there's any there. I mainly just want to go there to loot what's there because there's probably some really cool stuff, maybe some more workbenches for my new house, which that's another thing I gotta start doing, is then moving my stuff out of my shed to my house. I don't think it's gonna take very long because all I have is like 2 workbenches and a mattress, maybe a couple other small things, but not much. Yeah, it's a bright sunny day. So we'll pass noon as Marbash heads to the Red Rocket station, feeling good that Sanctuary is a lot more secured, and hopefully soon it'll be a lot more connected with some cool radio equipment and whatnot, but we'll have to save that for next time. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, a like would be greatly appreciated. I'll be back next week continuing this adventure, so subscribe if you want to catch that. And if you want to see one of my recent videos, click in the top right corner of the screen.